Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chris's Chaos. I am your host, Chris Cortez, and tonight we are covering NXT's Great American Bash that was held last night, July 30th. Okay, at around 8 p.m. at the HBB Center in Cedar Park, Texas, near Austin, and capacity for this venue was about 8,000. Now, we're going to talk about some things, some good things, some bad things that happened in the show. Overall, it was, for what it was a decent show, but we're going to get into it. This show started out with a bang, with this kind of homage to Dusty Rhodes, and scenes from him, like just recordings of him talking about realization of a dream, found reaching for your dreams, and we're gonna get to that, more of that as we go into it. And the crowd was packed, so I don't have the numbers yet for how many people were in attendance. It had to have been close to 8,000. Now we're gonna check it. Let me just go ahead and just cover the initial review. I did not do the kickoff show. I did not watch the kickoff show, so I read some reviews on it, but did not watch it and take my notes on that show. The first real match, the tag team championship match, was a fun match. Now this is nowhere near as good of a match when you compare it to like a match between like FTR and DIY. It's nowhere near that. Okay, so it was ranked. Some reviews might say, Bleacher Report might say that it was a B. Okay, you could give it a B, maybe a B minus. It was good though. I'm not saying it was bad, and I love D'Angelo. I love Stacks. I think it's a cool tag team. I like Wolfgang. Wolfgang's an amazing athlete, so we'll get into his work. And then that Weapons Wild match, Roxanne Perez versus Blair Davenport, fun match, cool match. I just don't think they got into the second gear, or the third gear rather. Again, it was ranked higher than and the reviews that I've read is ranked higher than I thought it was. People are saying that this was like, a B plus match. No, it was definitely, I would say, a B match. So take it down a notch. You know what I mean? And then Gable Steveson versus Baron Corbin. People are saying it's a C minus. Okay, so now you're gonna go hard on the guy who just started out. Okay, so for a debut match, it was one hell of a debut match. Okay, think back. Okay, we're going to definitely cover this match. This is the main reason why I wanted to cover NXT. I ended up covering the whole show, and we're going to get into it. But there's a lot to be said of what we watched between Corbin and Steveson. So, NXT North American Championship match, probably my favorite match of the night. I wouldn't say it's the best match. It was the best match leading up to this point. And it was a great match. I would say about a B plus match, a good match, a great match, a fun match, and a great spot that we will talk about involving Rhea Ripley and Wes Lee. And then the NXT Women's Championship match, Tiffany Stratton versus Thea Hale. This was a good match. It was given a B. I would say, yeah, it's about a B. I would agree. it was a good match. It just kind of had kind of an underwhelming ending that we will talk about. Okay, I think they might have been a little blown up. The two, they might have been a little tired. I think they were put up in the limelight, and I don't think they were ready for it. But we'll get into that. And then, of course, the NXT Championship match, Carmelo versus Ilja Dragunov. Yeah, it was an incredible match. It's not an A plus match though. This is not like Dragunov versus a Gunther, for instance. Okay, it was a good match. It was an A match. It was not an A plus match. Okay, and it just it did everything it needed to do. Okay, and that's why it's an A match. So we'll leave it at that. We're going to cover these matches in great detail. So before we do, my review, I do want to go ahead and let you all know to check out my Instagram. I got a brand new Instagram, brand new Twitter. Okay, I have my review of the G1 Climax Night 10. Okay, that's posted. You should check that out. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoy watching the show. Hit the like button and add any comments. Tell me what you think of the Great American Bash and how you felt about it. And also tomorrow, I will just in case I forget, I did watch the Cody Rhodes documentary, The American Nightmare Becoming Cody Rhodes, and I took notes. I'm going to do a little review on that. So this show and that documentary made one hell of a weekend for Cody Rhodes and promoting him as being the next guy. This whole weekend was about promoting him. Okay, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you didn't give him the title at WrestleMania, so this is where we're at. Okay, you got a year's worth now. You wanted the build, you got a year's worth of him being built up to be the next guy, because that's what's going to happen. Okay, and we will talk a little bit about that, and we'll definitely talk about it tomorrow when I get that documentary review in. So let's get into this first match. I didn't cover it too closely, but I watched it. I watched it a couple times. It was about an 8-minute match. Okay, for a tag team championship match. 8 minutes they were given. Okay, we got the Gallus versus the family. Okay, overall it was fun. Nothing incredible. I liked the hip toss of Stacks into D'Angelo, where the opponent is. I kind of like that little move, little teamwork. I liked Joe Coffey. He was doing what he could to get involved. And a belly to belly by D'Angelo, beautiful. I liked his move, superplex and a splash combination between the team. Wolfpack Gang. When he breaks the count and he starts doing his moves, the guy is huge. He's a beast and he can move. Like, the guy is incredible. So, but it ended with bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, and it was over. I mean, that was it. And that was a great. Okay, it's a nice little show. Nothing great. These guys aren't. Especially the family, they're not really these like hard hitting, like they're not these like guys that are going to give you the bangers. Okay, they're just entertainers. They can hit hard, and they're cool and they're strong, and that's fine. Okay, they're great entertainers. Nothing wrong with that. So that's what we got. Second match: Roxanne Perez versus Blair Davenport. Now here we go. Here's where I get into it. So Perez comes out, and I watched the promos. There's been a lot of build up between these two. Okay, they've just been fighting all over the performance center, as much as they could. Perez comes out. I mean, people love this character, love this wrestler. Okay, the crowd is totally over, just totally marking out for this character. She reminds me, if somebody hasn't already said it, she reminds me of AJ Lee. Okay, she's got that like cute factor. Okay, little cute petite girl that kind of wants to go crazy. I mean, that's AJ Lee all over. Okay, Blair. It kind of reminds me of a cross between like a Rhea Ripley and a Lita. Okay, so there you go. And then, of course, they had that pre-match promotional montage. I definitely like that scene at the convenience store. They should do more of that. I like little beatdowns in a store or a restaurant. That's cool stuff. That's good story building. And then Blair. So as Perez walks down the ring, she's going ahead. She's talking to her sister, her mom, hugging them. And Blair, she's high-fiving a couple fans, and Blair comes out wearing a black hoodie and starts attacking Perez, okay? Roxanne Perez is able to strike back. Blair misses a kick and into the steel steps, her leg goes, and Roxanne, crossbody off the barricade, looked good. Roxanne then thrown into the ring, and Blair attempts to bring a chair into the situation, but Perez attacks. In the ring, she clotheslines Blair out of the ring. Perez goes for a suicide dive, gets caught with a trash can. Booker T is definitely into this. A lot of oh yeahs. He was definitely, and I really do like his enthusiasm towards the matches. I've always liked his commentary. It's just very colorful, very charismatic. It's fun. So Blair slams Perez's head into the steps. Blair uses some kind of device, looked like the thing that you use to tune up the turnbuckle, basically. Okay. To tighten up the turnbuckles. Chairs, to the back of Perez, and then 6 chairs thrown into the ring by Blair. Davenport gets the trash can out, smothers Perez in it, just covers her up, and the turnbuckle hits that turnbuckle iron, strikes it to the can, and then chair to the ribs. Okay, just beat down. Other trash cans containing items tossed in without the items. I thought that was stupid. Okay, bring these items in, get them to use. If I see them, I want to see them get used for the most part. Okay, I do not like it when they are not used. Then a chair propped in the corner. Perez is sent into the chair. Perez gets her win back, strikes the midsection, and a drop kick to Blair. She goes outside to get hit by Blair with a belt. Her head slammed into the guardrail, ties the belt to the wrist, and then tossed into the barricade. She then threatens the little sister and mom of Perez, who strikes back with a cowbell. This is when things get good. I like the cowbell from under the ring. Little nod to Dusty Rhodes. Then she uses the same that same belt. Booker T. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Perez gets out the table from under the ring. Crowd is very pleased with that. Okay, good. Blair again with the just hitting of the belt, smacking the belt. Perez drives Blair into the ring apron. Perez on the top gets tripped up. Blair then sets up 3 chairs, goes for the German suplex. It's blocked and sent back to the chair in the corner. Goes for Pop Rock's Destroyer, countered pretty much into an Alabama slam. Inverted suplex into the trash can. Pin attempt, okay, by Perez. Pop Rock's countered again. She's thrown into the ring. Blair with a stomp to the head off the top. It wasn't like a straight stomp into the mat, but it was like a kick off the bottom of the boot to the head. Russian leg sweep by Perez, and then they fight on the apron. Then a running knee by Perez into Blair against the steel steps. A splash from the top onto the table, set up on the floor where Blair lays. Okay. And then back in the ring, a kick to the gut. Pop Rock's Destroyer. It's over. Onto the chairs. Okay, looked good. Like I said, it was a good match. It didn't go to that full route. It didn't go like that full gear. Okay, it didn't turn into a real hardcore match. Okay, I mean everything they did was fine. I think the brutality of it wasn't really appreciated. Wasn't truly like admonished. Like what can I say? It was not delivered to the point where like I didn't see much crying or I didn't see any bleeding. Do I want to see blood in a match like this? Yes, I kind of do. Okay, I'm not. A lot of times we like to make fun of John Moxley or call him out because he's always bleeding. The little running joke. Always match. First of all, most of Moxley's matches are hardcore matches, so I expect him to be bleeding. Okay, so I don't think there's any problem with that. I think his matches are brutal. Okay, and never ceases to amaze me how he's able to do it. And then this match needed a little bit more brutality. Okay, I'm not saying that they didn't do enough. I'm saying the selling of it wasn't enough. There was something missing. Okay, that didn't make this match a spectacle to be seen, something of a barn burner. So there we go. Third match, Baron Corbin versus Gable Steveson. Okay, here we go. All right. I've already listened to reviews on this. I've already listened to Gable Steveson, like what people think of Gable Steveson and how he performed and a lot of good things, a lot of different like polarizing ideas. Okay, let's get into this. Music. Okay. Corbin comes out. Booker T points out this lone wolf mentality. The music, more like his old music, and it was good. It's not as good though. Okay, I wish he had just come out to his music, that the last song he had before he went to this Lucky Corbin or whatever the hell it was. And Gable comes out with the music, gold medal, kisses it, and of course everyone's thinking Kurt Angle, and I'm like, damn it, this is the last person I was even thinking about. Was Kurt? Okay, let's turn him into another Kurt Angle because the gold medals. I don't think like that because I don't think I wasn't thinking, okay, let's do the most obvious stupid thing that you could do for a guy like this. Okay, he should have been everything different from a Kurt Angle. He could have been more like a Brock Lesnar. Okay, 2-time NCAA champion. That from Minnesota. That is a Brock Lesnar, not a Kurt Angle. But what do you do because he won a gold medal? Let's make him look more like a Kurt Angle. This guy is not a Kurt Angle. He's not even a Brock Lesnar. He's something else. So don't try to make him like a Kurt Angle. Don't try to make him like a Brock Lesnar. He's already proven his athletic ability is on their level. Now make him into something else. Make him into give him an identity that's something different. Okay? That was very stupid. But sure enough, bell sounds. Gable trips Corbin. Waistlock. Let's go Corbin chance. Okay, please. It's great that Corbin is going back to his roots, and I liked that, and he's supposed to be the heel, but come on. Strikes on Gable in the corner. Kicks Irish whip. Gable dodges him and strikes. Corbin pushes back and powders out. an angle lock until the rope breaks, and outside a German suplex. Gable slammed into the corner post, then thrown into the post. Gable thrown into the turnbuckle and strikes along the ring. Corbin back in control, back in the ring with a strike. Big Baron Corbin chance. Here we go. In the corner, Gable strikes back, but caught in a Death Valley driver and a pin attempt. Back up, Gable hammered into the top rope. Another strike followed by a pin attempt. Gable uses the top rope. Gable strikes back. 3 belly-to-belly suplexes and a clothesline outside. Back in another. They're outside. Baron sends Steveson to the ring apron, who then counters, sending Corbin to the table. Corbin back out, and they slug it out for the count out. Okay? Now, during all this time, Steveson, he's selling like a champ. He's taking all this beat down from Corbin. Okay? He comes back, he does his moves, and they just slug it out. And that made a lot of sense for me. I was like, okay, this is good. There should be a count out because, one, I don't think at this point he should beat Baron Corbin. The fans sure as hell aren't looking for him to beat Baron Corbin. But I also don't think Baron Corbin should be winning right now and get this, face applause. This is not good, okay? This is not good, okay? For one reason or another, people are not liking Gable Steveson. They need to make sure to package this guy as best as they can, okay? Nothing was done wrong between the two wrestlers. I think for a first match, okay, they put on a hell of a match, okay? That being said, I mean, look at the first match of Kurt Angle. I will have to, go ahead and tell me about the first match of Kurt Angle. Tell me about the first match of a John Cena, okay? And how great that was. It was a decent match, okay? But I think that there were some serious issues going on between the crowd reaction and the presentation of this guy. Okay, he had a song that was somewhat, relatable to him, but also they're trying to pin him as the next Kurt Angle, and that's just not the way to go with this guy. Okay, do not do that. Okay, he's a totally different story. So we got to keep on going. I'm going to keep my eye out on what's going to go on with Gable Steveson, Baron Corbin. Clearly the feud's not over. So there we go. And that is one thing that I like about this show, is that it did keep me wanting more. I do want to see what happens next with NXT. So that's the best thing that this show did. Okay, we're probably gonna repeat that later down the line. Let's go to the 4th match. Only 2 more matches in. They did a 5-match show, the way that's always been done. And of course, there were some things that they didn't always do, for our great NXT premiere events that we all know and love. For those of us that have been watching NXT for so long, because I had been watching it for 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 into the freaking pandemic, until it just got Nickelodeonized. But let's keep going. 4th match for the NXT North American Championship. Dominik Mysterio versus Wesley versus Mustafa Ali. Before this match, we even get a promo for becoming Cody Rhodes. Then we get a replay of last Tuesday. Ripley versus Lyra Valkyria. It's a hard name to pronounce. And then back to Lyra, who gets attacked by JC Jane. And then, we get Rhea Ripley saying, oh, that's good. That's what we were looking for. A little much. Clearly, Ripley's going to be more involved in NXT. And, not a lot going on. Not a lot of build towards this actual match. Okay, it was more of a build for Ripley and Dom and whatever they're going to do next. Not so much like what's really going on here. We finally get to the promo for the triple threat about Wesley putting his heart and soul into the match. He comes out to the ring. Mustafa Ali comes to the ring, followed by Dirty Dom and Rhea Ripley. Okay, bell sounds. They're all three facing each other. Dom backs out of the ring. Rhea, asking for the title, takes it, says gracias. She then gets between Dom and Ali, but not Wes. Okay, Wes from the behind goes after Dom. Dom back in the ring, and the two get a hold of Dom for a stomp fest. All right, they fight over who gets to strike Dom in the corner, then push each other. Chops from both to Dom, pushing double chops, vicious, look good. Frankensteiner by Lee, arm drags exchanged, pin attempt by Ali, and then by Lee. Okay. Kicks missed, but not the chops from Ali, then by Lee. They strike each other. Ali goes low to the corner, Irish whip by Lee. Ali gets the upper hand, but not for long as they are both on top. Okay, and Dirty Dom pushes both off the top floor. Okay, so they start fighting each other on the top rope. Okay, after a while, after beating up Dom, they were able to kind of focus on each other, and lo and behold, Dirty Dom pushes him off the top turnbuckle. So then he starts flexing. Okay, nice little flex by Dom. And Dom brings Ali back in the ring for a pin attempt. Dom hits the 3 Amigos on Ali, but only 2 before Wes comes in, gets involved. So Dom goes for 3 Amigos on Lee. Only gets 2. Then a reversal from both Ali and Lee. They hit the double team 3 Amigos from just right on Dom. Cool, nice little spot. Okay, spot to remember. Ali tries to sneak the pin broken up by Lee and does the same. Super kick from Lee into a DDT on Ali, okay, by Dom. So it's like they're all striking each other one after the other like dominoes. No pun intended. Ali hits a great swinging DDT from the middle turnbuckle onto Lee. Dom gets hit with a rolling neck breaker from Ali. Then the Boston Crab on Lee and the camel clutch on Dom, both by Ali. Broken up quick, okay? I do not like these types of little spots where they try where one guy like gets 2 people in a hold. I think that's a little difficult for me to suspend disbelief. Drop kick by Dom to Ali and the drop toe hold onto the rope to Wes Lee. Goes for a 619, stopped by Ali. Both Dom and Lee are on the bottom rope. Ali hits the 450 onto the ring apron. Misses both opponents who are shocked. Roll up by Dom to Lee. Kick to Dom with both feet, then the suicide dive to Dom. Outside, Lee and Ripley are eyeing each other, and here's where things get interesting. Rhea Ripley, she's telling Wes, whatever you're thinking of doing, I know what you're doing. Don't do it, okay? Don't hit my Dom, okay? And he's like, yeah, okay. Gets back in the ring, but then while Rhea's not looking, okay, he basically does a tope over Rhea onto Dom. Great spot, okay? But that really pisses off Rhea Ripley, okay? He gets Dominik back in the ring, does Wesley, and Rhea just lays into him, gets the ripcord onto Wesley, right onto the commentator table. Just looks like a beast, okay? I mean, if there was ever a time to like look at Rhea Ripley as being something kind of otherworldly and other humanly, this is it. Okay, this is why she is the top woman in pretty much the wrestling industry at this point. I can't say who's above her. Okay, she is kind of like the Roman Reigns of this whole thing, of the women's division. Probably the sickest spot of the night too. Okay. Wes then is thrown back in the ring. Dom for the near fall. Ref distracted as Dom uses the women's title to hit Wes. Another near fall. Rhea is just freaking out. Okay, doing everything she can to make sure that Dominik wins the title, leaves this situation with his championship intact. Dom top rope gets hit by Ali, who is back. Dom then tied up on the rim after he just gets that hit from Ali. Ali hits the 450 on Wes. Okay, near fall, but is dragged out of the ring by Rhea Ripley, and Dom has got his footing back. He hits the frog splash for the 1-2-3. Match of the night up to this point. I thought it was a great match. Probably my favorite match of the night. And we'll talk about that as to why. It had some more memorable spots, in my opinion, than the main event, which we'll talk about. And I guess we need to get into the 4th match, the NXT Women's Championship. Submission match, Tiffany Stratton versus Thea Hale. Trick and Mello. Trick Williams, he has a little promo in the back, talks about how far him and Mello go way back. And Trick Williams is such a great promo. He's a very, very comfortable in front of the camera, okay, and doing the mic work. So we'll talk more about Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes as we go into the main event. But then the promo to the Women's Championship match. And I like Hale's adrenaline and energy. I do like her a lot. The stuck-up attitude of Stratton works for the most part. Kind of reminds me of like a Britt Baker, but to another level of bougie. So whereas like Britt Baker is kind of just sassy and full of attitude, Stratton is just straight up stuck up, So a lot of U square signs as Hale comes out. And I thought to myself at this point, there could be maybe a little collaboration between Alpha Academy and Chase U. Or feud, whichever works. On the Titantron, the Barbie Land Dream House is shown on, and as Tiffany Stratton comes out. Yes, I watched Barbie the other day. I have to admit I fell asleep. I'm not saying it was a bad movie or anything like that. I know I've heard good things. There were some cool things that I got to see about it, but I don't know. I did just come out of the brewery, so maybe I was just a little tired. But yeah, I'll watch it. Maybe I'll revisit it and see what I think. Bell sounds. Okay. They lock up. Hale takes the arm, roll up by Stratton. They lock up again, and a cravat by Hale. I like that. It reminds me of my boy Naito. Stratton gets out, face plants Hale, then the stretch board lifts up Hale. Hale gets out and back to the arm. Snapmare and a sit-down splash onto Hale. Arm drags and a drop kick by Hale. This tippy-toe suicida dive. She should have went in full steam. She did not. And Stratton counters in that and takes Hale into the corner post. She uses the post to apply pressure on the lower back. The whole time she is working the lower back, leading up to her finish. So I have to, applaud, commemorate, really appreciate Stratton for what she's doing. Commend her for her actions, building up. And I will say this while I can. Most of these matches were very intentional, very thoughtfully laid out as each part kind of went into the next. And I can appreciate. So Hale rolls out, begins to strike a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, then crashes right into to Hale, then crashes her into the corner pads. Cartwheel into attack, kind of wasted movement. Variated torture rack by Stratton with the arms hooked. Back body drop. Then a back body drop. Stratton hard on the back of her head by Hale. Okay, looked kind of sick. She then goes for an exploder, blocked backbreaker by Stratton, countered into the arm drag, and then the double arm strike, a hip splash into the corner, followed by an exploder, standing somersault right into Stratton, back into the springboard senton, drop caught into Stratton's leg scissors. So again, just working the lower back. Hale fights to her feet, breaks the hold, but Stratton hits the bulldog. Hale hits the kick, sending Stratton outside, and a suicide dive, this time met. Then a running axe handle, then thrown into the corner post. On the top, cross body, but Stratton lifts her. Hale tries for the Kimura, a suplex by Stratton, and another slam. Looks for the moonsault. At the top, exploder by Hale. Okay? And at this point, the crowd's kind of getting just a little tired of this match. Okay, and that's kind of what I was, match should have been where they should have been like, going crazy, and the two should have been beating the shit out of each other. They were kind of, you could tell, just trying to go through the motions and finish this up. But a submission almost locked in, but Stratton makes to the ropes and uses it as a leverage to get her out of the ring and break the hold, because she can, a rope break is not, grabbing the ropes is not going to lead to a break in the submission. She has to actually get herself out of the ring to break the submission. Stratton lifts Hale, drives her into the guardrail, and then steps, and then throws her back in the ring, hits that prettiest moonsault, then the Boston Crab. Okay, and then it's pretty much just, academic from here. The hold is broken, then reapplied into the knee. She basically applies pressure using her knee onto the lower back of Hale, and then turns the Boston Crab into a half Boston Crab. Andre Chase throws in the towel to end the match. Okay, there were some moments during this Boston Crab that made me look really cringe, because it looked like, Hale's such a flexible woman. She's able to do these, manipulate her body to make it look like she's really getting torqued back. So I was almost feeling for her. That was a little, scary for me. I like that, but other than that, the match just didn't go to fourth gear. So. But it was a good match. Like, it was a B match. It was not anything to be ashamed of. It's just take it from there, We go to backstage, and Dragon Lee in the back crosses paths with Dom, and Rhea Ripley says, "Oh, look, it's a wannabe Rey Mysterio." Lee points out, Dragon Lee, okay, not to be confused with Wesley, points out that he's proud to resemble Ray, but I have my own story. And Dom, he says something that kind of, struck a chord. You could tell he kind of meant what he said in this. He's like, I've made, not this, like, I'll tell you, I've made the Mysterio name relevant. That he's not like, saying, but right here, he's my dad only likes to help guys who look like him, not an original like me. Okay. And I can tell he said that with a little bit of conviction because he is an original. I mean, he is not like any other, luchador or person of like a Latino wrestler that has ever come before him. Okay. He's somehow managed to turn a mix of like Eddie Guerrero, maybe a little bit of Ray, but he's nothing like anybody. He is his own guy. And there are so many that have kind of been influenced by Rey Mysterio, and Dominik has obviously been influenced by his father, but he has made himself into something else. Okay. That's why you got to give this guy credit. Okay. Because, it doesn't always work out for the second generational talent. Okay. So I think what I mean when he was like being for real about it was that he has made himself into an identity and a presentation that he can sell. That's fine. That's great. And then we go back to like Lyra and JC. They're fighting each other. Eddie Thorpe. They do a little promotion of Lyra versus JC. I'll try to watch that match on Tuesday. Eddie Thorpe versus Dijak. I will try to cover a review for NXT on Tuesday. There are no promises from that one because, quite frankly, I am focusing on G1 Climax until the end. That has been my sole objective for the summer is to cover the G1. And after that, I will try to cover whatever other main event, major premier events that I can cover for New Japan and for perhaps NXT, and we'll move from there. Okay. Fifth match, final match, main event, NXT Championship, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilja Dragunov. Okay. Dragunov. I mean, everything about this guy's presentation, he's ready for the main roster. Okay. It's time for him to go. Hayes, Hayes comes out, some light keyboard playing, while the signs come up, get a dream, hold on to it, and reach for the sky. All Dusty Rhodes quotes. Hayes is ready for the main roster as well. And with Trick Williams at his side, you got the promo work, you got everything. The guy is ready to go. Okay, all three of these guys are just ready for the main roster. Okay, so it's only a matter of time. The boots on Trick, by the way, look fantastic. Cowboy boots and all. It's great. Okay. Fast forward to the the Cody Rhodes documentary. You will see Carmelo Hayes working with Cody on his way to be cleared for the Royal Rumble 2023. So there's just a lot of connection between the wrestlers in this event and Cody Rhodes and everything that's leading up to WrestleMania. It's all build up. It's all one big promo. So I have to give WWE credit for the way they build things in their premier live events. So that being said, bell sounds. Okay. Hayes takes the arm, then flips Dragunov over, who stands up only to be taken down again. Dragunov, he reverses, slams the arm over his shoulder, but Hayes reverses into an arm drag. Then Dragunov back to the arm, takes control. Hayes to the headlock takeover, but Dragunov quick to reverse to a headlock. Some boos from the crowd. Hayes breaks free, reverse headlock, kicked by Dragunov. Arm drag by Hayes, holds onto the arm. You hear the mellow chants. Then Dragunov back up to the ropes, tries to arm drag Hayes, who holds on. Shoulder tackle by Hayes, waist lock by Dragunov, countered to a kick and a massive chop by Hayes. Now Dragunov is pissed. Okay, and just right now, just to let you know, Dragunov really did have total control of most of this match. Okay, Hayes had to kind of suffer, persevere, come back with his moves, get the victory. Okay. Dragunov's pissed, charges Hayes into the corners, chops of his own, forearm by Hayes, springboard clothesline, and a kick to Dragunov, sending him to the floor. Front kick by Hayes, another caught this time. Some more shots from Hayes, but then the insecurity connects with Hayes, sending him down. Dragunov, now waistlock, fought off by Hayes. Again, the springboard into a German and a clothesline. Kick to the face by Dragunov, strike to the back. One from Hayes. They exchange strikes. They're just chopping each other. Massive chops to the face of Hayes. Trick tries to motivate Hayes as Dragunov kicks in a German suplex again, and a German holds on. Another German, and then holds on. One reversed by the kick by Dragunov. Lets him pull another German suplex. Okay, so he gets let go for a minute, gets a kick in, and hits another German suplex. This is definitely starting to remind me of like a New Japan match. Someone like between like, I don't know, Tomohiro Ishii maybe and Shingo Takagi. They're just, because they're going to be striking each other, chopping each other, and German suplexes and lariats, okay? Which is fine. Chops by Dragunov, senton into a pin attempt, nice. Dragunov is trying to take the arm, but rather gets him into like a sleeper hold. Oh, and I believe it was a crossface chicken wing as well. Hard strike sends Hayes onto the top rope, and another strike. Hayes is hurting. Another chop in the corner, and 3 more before Hayes hits hard in the face. Dragunov strikes multiple times in a spinning back chop. Hayes struggling to get back from this. They start to exchange strikes. Another forearm. Dragunov wins that exchange. Then a kick up and a super kick by Hayes. But then the lariat sends Hayes inside out. Near fall. Hayes still in it. Okay, forearms to the back of Hayes. And back to that chicken wing, and the legs locked. But Hayes back up, and Hayes goes for a pin and a strike and kick by Dragunov. Okay, so Hayes tries to roll him up and essentially just gets like kicked and a strike from Dragunov. Pin attempt. Dragunov's getting frustrated. Clothesline by Dragunov. Kick by Hayes. Holds the arm and stomps a mud hole in Dragunov. Kick. One kick is caught in more exchanges between the two, but a bulldog after that. And an enziguri from Dragunov. Hayes now in it. Strikes Dragunov. Head slammed into the corner, and Hayes keeps it up. Then Dragunov fights back. Drops the head on Dragunov. On Hayes' knees. And then a lariat. Okay, Hayes for the first 48. Countered into strikes. Raining down elbows. Okay, is Dragunov. Okay. Elbows now from Hayes. He hits the springboard DDT, near fall from Hayes. They are both exhausted, as they should. I mean, I can't blame them. Hayes wants to go on the top rope, but Dragunov, he holds the leg, so Hayes strikes, a couple times, makes it to the rope, but Dragunov hits that enziguri. And Dragunov up top now hits the senton and a near fall. Dragunov again on top, goes coast to coast, but gets caught with first 48. At this point, we're kind of leaning up to the end. Hayes up top, gets caught by Dragunov into a sloppy powerbomb, okay? Didn't look pretty. Big forearm onto the lifeless body of Hayes, then a near fall. That looked pretty cool. Thrown in the corner, then set up on top is Hayes. Strikes exchange, though. Dragunov looking for a superplex. It's reversed into a cutter, like a diamond cutter. Off the top by Hayes. That's a near fall. And then Trick grabs the title, says, "Are you a fraud or you're a champion?" This is fourth quarter. Trick Williams doing his motivational speeches. He is so important to the match. And kicked by Dragunov. Strikes exchange, but they cannot stand. Kicks exchange, more forearms. They're kicking the crap out of each other. Double kick sends them both down. Okay, they both front kick each other in the face. Looked great. Hayes on the outside gets motivation from Trick. More motivation. And Dragunov hits this torpedo Moscow, just headbutts right into Trick Williams. Hayes has ducked the opening that Carmelo Hayes needed. Hayes on top hits the leg drop for the 1-2-3. And so part of the story will go that Trick takes the bullet. I don't know if they're trying to separate the two. I hope they do not. They do not need to. It's not like Trick Hayes really played a pivotal role in making sure that he won, but rather he took a bullet. He motivated, and if Dragunov had missed Carmelo Hayes, if let's say he just ducked out of the way, played possum, Dragunov could have hit his head on the commentary table, and it would have been just as bad for Dragunov. It just happened that he hit Trick Williams, so Trick took a bullet. That's it. Okay, so we'll see what happens next. So overall, I mean, this show. Okay, this was a great match. I mean, this could have been easily match of the night. I liked this match a lot. I just thought that some of the moves and some of the things that happened were just not as entertaining as the last match, as the triple threat. Okay, this match was perfectly done. The way they set up, the way that Dragunov was pretty much on top for the most time, but Hayes, the more you look at it, he's kind of building his momentum, getting his strikes in when he needs to, and winning the match. Okay, kind of like Sonata. All right, that's what Sonata does essentially from New Japan, the New Japan IWGP champion. He does that, and he perseveres every time and gets his win. That's it. So overall, this show, last thoughts on this show. I mean, it was a good show. Okay, it was like a B show. Now, one of the things that like really irked me about this whole presentation, okay, because this is one of the first shows I've really paid a lot of attention to NXT in a long time, is that the production is very overproduced. It's very clean. Okay, it's not like the good old days when NXT even had like a little bit of smoke, and you could just feel that it was like kind of a little underground. And I know that Triple H was like very intentional about that. This is just like the other brand of WWE. It just felt like it's just another WWE brand. I mean, that's it. It's not the NXT of the old days. And yes, we still kind of feel, a little nostalgic and bitter. And yes, we know it's over. But we do want to at least see stories and matches that have some replayability, that have, has us invested and makes us wanting more. That's all we ask for. Forget about the promotion, the production. They still know how to make good promos leading up to the matches and build-ups. No one does it better than WWE as far as like studio work and making, their promos. And the show definitely had a big time feel. And that's a good thing. Okay, it just still kind of lacks the grit. And that showed in the weapons match, showed a little bit in the submission match, did not show, the main event shows the grit. The triple threat was fun, and it shows in the tag team match. Okay, if this was a tag team, if this was old school, you would have seen a tag team banger for about 15 to 20 minutes, not 8 minutes. Okay, you would have seen blood on the faces of the women. Okay, the triple threat match went pretty much as it would. Okay, with Rhea Ripley doing her spot. Okay, the women's, and the main event did everything it needed to do, and that's fine. But that being said, those are my thoughts. This did what it needed to do, got me wanting to watch the next show. That's what it needed to do. So did it do its job? Yes. Of course, do I want to see more? That's why I'm giving a critique on this show. Okay? So on that note, I'm going to let you all go. Tomorrow, going to watch G1 Climax Night 11. I can't wait for that. Go check out my Night 10 review. I will hopefully record soon thereafter. During the day, I'll record my review of the documentary of American Nightmare Becoming Cody Rhodes. So I'll have that ready for you. So hopefully I have two new videos out for you for tomorrow by the end of the night. On that note, you all have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. And I will see you all tomorrow. And take care.